Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Priscilla Pointer. The entertainment world is mourning the loss of legendary actress Priscilla Pointer, who passed away at the remarkable age of 100. With a career that spanned over 5 decades, Priscilla was more than just a supporting actress. She was a quiet force in Hollywood, bringing warmth, depth, and a quiet intensity to every role she took on. She leaves behind not just a legacy of memorable performances, but also the inspiration of a life fully lived through art, dedication, and grace. Born on May 18, 1924, in New York City, Priscilla grew up surrounded by creativity. She was the daughter of famed illustrator Kenneth Pointer and had an early exposure to the arts. It was no surprise when she pursued acting seriously, studying at the Actors Studio and honing her craft on the stage before transitioning to film and television. Her career started in earnest during the 1950s, with appearances in television dramas and stage productions. But it was in the 1970s and 80s that Priscilla Pointer truly found her niche in film. She was often cast in maternal or authoritative roles, which suited her dignified presence and expressive range. Among her most memorable performances was her role in Brian De Palma's horror classic Carrie, 1976, where she played the principal's secretary. She appeared alongside her daughter, the celebrated actress Amy Irving, in several films, creating a rare and touching dynamic on screen. Perhaps her most emotionally resonant role was in Blue Velvet, 1986, directed by David Lynch, where she brought a complex humanity to a small but impactful part. Whether she had a few lines or a leading role, Priscilla had the rare ability to make every moment count. She knew the power of silence, of gestures, of presence. That old-school discipline, combined with her love for performance, made her respected across generations of actors and directors. Outside of the screen, Priscilla was known for her intelligence, wit, and warmth. Friends and colleagues described her as humble despite her long career, always ready to offer advice, encouragement, and stories from Hollywood's golden eras. She was also deeply supportive of theater arts, contributing to community theater programs and mentoring young performers long after she retired from acting. Her passing marks the end of an era, a reminder of the quieter, steadfast talents that held Hollywood together through its many transitions. Priscilla Pointer was not one to chase the spotlight, but the spotlight always found her because of her natural grace and undeniable skill. Mike Peters, the Pulitzer Prize-winning editorial cartoonist whose sharp wit and expressive illustrations graced the pages of newspapers for decades, passed away at the age of 64. Known not only for his powerful political commentary, but also for his lighthearted comic strip, Mother Goose and Grimm. Mike brought humor and truth to millions of readers around the world. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, Mike grew up during a time when the world was shifting rapidly. Even as a child, he was captivated by drawing. He would doodle during school, filling the margins of notebooks with caricatures and comic scenes. Encouraged by a supportive family and a handful of teachers who recognized his gift, he pursued art with determination. After earning his degree from Washington University in St. Louis, he studied at the Chicago Academy of Fine Arts, where he honed his distinct style. Mike's big break came in the early 1970s, when his editorial cartoons were picked up by the Dayton Daily News. Instantly, readers responded to his bold, often humorous take on serious events, from politics and war to social justice and daily life. In 1981, his work was recognized with the highest honor in journalism, the Pulitzer Prize for Editorial Cartooning. But Mike never let the accolades change him. He remained committed to the power of the pen and brush, believing cartoons could spark thought, laughter, and even change. In 1984, he launched Mother Goose and Grimm, a daily comic strip that became a household favorite. Centered around a sarcastic yellow dog named Grimm and his eccentric companions, the strip offered hilarious commentary on modern life. Mike once said that while his editorial work spoke to the mind, Grimm spoke to the heart and to the funny bone. The strip ran in hundreds of newspapers across the globe and earned him fans of all ages. Mike's cartoons stood out not just for their humor or critique, but for their humanity. He tackled tough topics: inequality, corruption, injustice, but did so with empathy and intelligence. Behind every joke was a message, and behind every sketch was a man who genuinely cared about people and truth. Outside of his cartooning career, Mike was a vibrant speaker and mentor. He traveled extensively, giving talks at schools, conferences, and comic conventions, inspiring countless young artists to follow their passions fearlessly. He was known for his infectious laughter, his kindness, and his boundless energy when it came to talking about his craft. In his personal life, Mike was a loving husband and father. He often spoke about how his family grounded him and gave him the inspiration he needed to keep going through tough times. His wife Marion was not only his partner in life, but often his sounding board for new ideas. His children remember him as a man who saw the world a little differently, who could find humor in the ordinary, and who believed that even a single cartoon could make someone's day better. Mike Peters leaves behind a legacy that is both artistic and cultural. Through ink and humor, he challenged authority, lifted spirits, and told the truth with style. His absence will be deeply felt in the world of journalism, comics, and among the many lives he touched with his work. Émilie Dequenne, the acclaimed Belgian actress known for her raw, emotionally gripping performances in European cinema, has passed away at the age of 42. Her death marks the loss of one of Belgium's most treasured talents, an actress who gave her all to every role, leaving behind a body of work that will resonate with audiences for generations to come. Émilie was born in the small town of Belgium, Belgium. From a young age, she displayed a passion for the arts, often participating in local theater productions and school plays. Her expressive eyes and natural intensity set her apart early on. She wasn't interested in fame. What drove her was a desire to understand human emotion and reflect it back to the world through acting. That dedication became her signature, and it would go on to define a remarkable career. Her breakthrough came at just 18 years old when she starred in the Dardenne brothers' film Rosetta, 1999, a role that would catapult her to international fame. Her portrayal of a working-class teenager struggling to survive in a harsh world earned her the Best Actress award at the Cannes Film Festival. It was a performance that critics called unforgettable and hauntingly real. Émilie had arrived, and she had done it on her own terms. Over the next 2 decades, Émilie built a diverse and deeply respected filmography. She worked with renowned directors across Europe, always choosing roles that challenged her and pushed the boundaries of her craft. From The Girl on the Train to Our Children, à perdre la raison, she often played women caught in difficult, emotionally complex situations. These roles demanded vulnerability, strength, and nuance, and Émilie delivered every time. She was an actress who disappeared into her characters, making audiences feel every tremble, every tear, every flicker of hope. Her work wasn't limited to film. Émilie also had a significant presence in theater and television, bringing the same level of commitment and artistry to every medium. Yet despite her success, she remained humble, grounded, and focused on her craft. She avoided the spotlight when possible, preferring quiet moments with her family and friends to red carpet appearances. Those who worked with her often spoke of her quiet intelligence, her warmth, and the incredible emotional depth she brought to her work. Outside of acting, Émilie was a private person but deeply compassionate. She supported mental health awareness and women's rights causes, often using her platform to speak on behalf of those who couldn't. She believed that art could be a force for healing, and she proved that through her performances time and time again. Her passing leaves a deep void in the European film community. Tributes have poured in from fellow actors, directors, and fans who were touched by her work and her spirit. She may not have chased stardom, but she earned something far more lasting: respect, admiration, and love. In her personal life, Émilie was a devoted mother and partner. She once said that her greatest joy was watching her child grow, and that no role, no matter how prestigious, could ever compete with the quiet moments she shared with her family. Émilie Dequenne's legacy is that of an artist who gave herself fully to her work, who believed in truth above glamour, and who reminded us all of the beauty and tragedy of being human. Her performances will live on, just like the emotions she stirred in all of us. Marsh. Marsh, the pioneering electrical engineer and founder of PAD Software, passed away on May 4, 2012, at the age of 84. His visionary work in the field of electronic design automation, EDA, revolutionized printed circuit board, PCB design, leaving an indelible mark on the electronics industry. Born in 1928, Marsh graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 1951. Following his graduation, he served in the U.S. Army before transitioning to a civilian career at Raytheon, where he worked for 18 years. At Raytheon, Marsh led teams responsible for developing radar systems for anti-ballistic missile shields, showcasing his expertise in complex electronic systems. In 1985, Marsh founded PADS Software, one of the first companies dedicated to developing PCB design tools. Under his leadership, PADS became a trailblazer in the EDA industry, offering innovative solutions that streamlined the PCB design process. The company's success led to its merger with Innovata in 2000, and it was subsequently acquired by Mentor Graphics, further cementing Marsh's legacy in the field. Marsh's contributions to the industry were recognized through the establishment of the Jean Marsh Award for Technical Innovation, honoring individuals who demonstrate exceptional innovation in electronic design. His commitment to advancing technology and supporting the engineering community earned him widespread respect among peers and professionals. Beyond his professional achievements, Marsh was known for his dedication to mentorship and education. He believed in nurturing the next generation of engineers and often shared his knowledge and experience to inspire others. His passion for engineering was matched by his commitment to integrity and excellence, values that he instilled in those around him. Marsh is survived by his wife, Janice, and sons Michael and Patrick. He was predeceased by his first wife, Gertrude, with whom he had 3 sons. Funeral services were held on May 12, 2012, at the Acton Funeral Home in Acton, Massachusetts. Jean Marsh's legacy lives on through the countless engineers and designers who continue to benefit from his innovations. His pioneering spirit and dedication to advancing technology have left an enduring impact on the world of electronic design. Mimi Hines, the legendary singer, comedian, and Broadway actress known for her powerhouse vocals and sparkling wit, has passed away at the age of 90. A trailblazer in the world of entertainment, Mimi's talent crossed genres and generations, leaving behind a rich legacy that shaped the landscape of musical theater and live performance. Her passing marks the end of a truly golden chapter in American stage history. Born on July 17, 1933 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Mimi began her career in the most classic way. In nightclubs and variety shows where her comedic timing and vocal range quickly set her apart. She rose to national fame in the 1950s and 60s, often performing alongside her then-husband, comedian Phil Ford. Together, they became a beloved duo on television shows such as The Tonight Show and The Ed Sullivan Show, bringing laughter and song into millions of homes. But Mimi's career reached soaring new heights when she stepped into the role of Fanny Brice in the Broadway production of Funny Girl, replacing Barbra Streisand. It was no easy task. Streisand had made the role iconic, but Mimi brought her own flavor to the character, bold, funny, and endearingly human. Critics and audiences alike were won over by her magnetic stage presence and vocal strength, and she went on to perform the role for 18 months, proving she was a Broadway star in her own right. Mimi's influence didn't stop there. She went on to star in numerous musicals and stage productions including Grease, Hello, Dolly, and Sugar Babies. And she remained active on the cabaret circuit for decades. Her voice, smooth and soaring even into her later years, was a reminder of a classic era of performance that valued heart, humor, and showmanship. But behind the curtain, Mimi was also known for her warmth, humility, and boundless support of younger performers. She mentored countless singers and actors, always encouraging them to embrace their individuality and stay grounded in their craft. In a world that often demands conformity, Mimi celebrated uniqueness. Her passing is a loss felt deeply by the theatrical community and by fans who still cherish the recordings, performances, and moments she gave to the world. Mimi Hines was more than a star. She was a force of joy, a voice of resilience, and a shining example of the magic that happens when talent meets heart. Lar Park Lincoln, the beloved actress best known for her memorable role as Tina Shepard in Friday the 13th. Part 7, The New Blood, has passed away at the age of 62. Her portrayal of the telekinetic teen made her a fan favorite in horror circles and solidified her place in cult cinema history. Her passing has left the entertainment world in mourning. as tributes pour in for a woman who was not just a talented performer, but also a courageous survivor and inspiring mentor. Born Cynthia Cheryl Lavia on May 27, 1961, in Dallas, Texas, Lair's passion for acting blossomed early. She studied at the University of North Texas before beginning her career in television, quickly landing roles in series such as Knots Landing and Hunter. But it was her 1988 performance in Friday the 13th Part 7 that turned her into an icon. Her character's emotional depth and psychic strength brought a new dimension to the franchise, earning her a loyal fan base that spanned generations. While Hollywood can often be a harsh place, Lar carved out a space for herself not just through acting, but through resilience. She faced immense personal tragedy, including the loss of her husband to cancer and her own battles with health issues, including surviving breast cancer. Yet, through it all, she remained fiercely optimistic and dedicated to helping others. In interviews, she often spoke about turning pain into purpose and using her experiences to lift others up. In her later years, Lar devoted much of her energy to mentoring young actors. She opened an acting studio in Texas where she trained aspiring performers, teaching them not only the craft, but also the importance of perseverance and self-belief. Her students often described her as warm, honest, and deeply passionate about her work. Beyond her career, Lar was a mother, a friend, and a fierce advocate for women's health and self-empowerment. She authored a book titled Get Started, Not Scammed, aiming to protect and educate aspiring actors from the darker corners of the industry. Her legacy is not only preserved in her memorable performances, but also in the lives she touched behind the scenes. Lar Park Lincoln leaves behind a legacy of strength, kindness, and determination. She may be gone, but her spirit, her talent, and her fight live on in the hearts of her fans and the many lives she helped shape. Gavin Creel, the Tony Award-winning Broadway star whose voice could stir souls and whose heart lifted everyone around him, has passed away at the age of 48. His sudden departure has left the theater world in deep mourning, a world he helped illuminate with grace, joy, and unparalleled talent. Born in Findlay, Ohio, Gavin's journey to the stage began like so many others, in a small-town high school auditorium, beneath the glow of stage lights, where he first discovered the magic of performance. But even then, there was something extraordinary about him, something undeniable in the way he connected with every role, every lyric, and every audience. After graduating from the University of Michigan's esteemed musical theater program, Gavin's star began to rise swiftly. His Broadway debut in Thoroughly Modern Millie earned him instant acclaim and his first Tony nomination. He brought a freshness to the stage, a blend of classical elegance and modern charm that was both magnetic and deeply human. Gavin's performances in productions like Hair, Hello, Dolly, and Into the Woods further solidified his place as one of the great musical theater talents of his generation. In 2017, he finally took home the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Musical for his role as Cornelius Hackle in Hello, Dolly, a performance full of heart, humor, and that unmistakable Creole charisma. But Gavin was more than just a voice and a performer. He was a fierce advocate, a kind soul, and a passionate voice for change. Openly gay and proudly outspoken, he used his platform to fight for LGBTQ+ rights, arts education, and social justice. He believed in theater not just as entertainment, but as a powerful tool for healing and transformation. Behind the curtain, Gavin was known for his infectious laugh, his generosity, and his quiet acts of kindness. He was the kind of person who remembered your birthday, who stayed late to help a new cast member rehearse, who made every crew member feel just as important as the stars on stage. In recent years, Gavin expanded his work into songwriting and solo performances, sharing his original music with a new and growing audience. His lyrics were deeply personal, reflective, honest, and always full of hope. The loss of Gavin Creel is a wound felt across the entire theater community. Yet, in his absence, his legacy lives on, in the shows he transformed, in the causes he championed, and in every person who ever sat in a darkened theater and felt lifted by his light. Dick Barnett, the trailblazing NBA champion and civil rights advocate, passed away at the age of 88. A legend both on and off the basketball court, Barnett's life was defined by resilience, achievement, and the relentless pursuit of justice and education. His powerful legacy will be remembered not only in the sports world, but also in classrooms, communities, and history books. Born in Gary, Indiana, in 1936, Dick Barnett grew up in a time of intense racial segregation and societal limitations for African Americans. Yet, from a young age, he displayed a tenacity that would come to define his career. He became a basketball star at Tennessee A&I College, now Tennessee State University, where he led the team to 3 consecutive national championships in the late 1950s. It was during this time that Barnett developed his signature jump shot, characterized by an unusual but effective backward kick that confused defenders and thrilled fans. Barnett's professional career began in 1959 when he was selected by the Syracuse Nationals in the NBA draft. He later played for the Los Angeles Lakers before joining the New York Knicks, where he would make his biggest mark. He was a crucial part of the Knicks' legendary championship teams in 1970 and 1973. His scoring ability, defensive prowess, and leadership helped elevate the team to greatness. Fans will forever remember his famous phrase, "Fall back, baby," which he shouted as he launched his trademark jumpers. But Dick Barnett's story extended far beyond basketball. He was a passionate advocate for education. While still playing professionally, he pursued advanced degrees, eventually earning a PhD in education from Fordham University. After retiring from the NBA, he dedicated his life to teaching and mentoring. As a professor at Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn, he inspired countless students, emphasizing the importance of discipline, knowledge, and community upliftment. Barnett also became an outspoken civil rights advocate, working to ensure that the contributions of historically Black colleges and their athletes received the recognition they deserved. His efforts culminated in the documentary project, The Dream Whisperer, which he championed to shine a light on the struggles and victories of Black athletes from HBCUs during segregation. Throughout his life, Barnett never stopped fighting for what he believed in. Whether on the court with a basketball in hand or in a classroom with a book, he moved with purpose, passion, and unwavering integrity. His life was a testament to the power of education, the resilience of the human spirit, and the importance of breaking down barriers. Dick Barnett's passing is a profound loss, but his voice, his values, and his victories will echo through generations. He showed the world that you could be a champion in sports and in life, and that the pursuit of greatness never truly ends.